Hey everyone, Magic Man Scott 40K here. Today I want to talk about the Creations bundle for Fallout 4. So I'm Magic Man Scott 40K. I make mostly Dawn of War Warhammer videos, and my birthday was a couple days ago. I made a birthday video, and I said I wanted this for my birthday, and I did end up getting it, which did actually surprise me. I didn't think I would get this. And I've been messing it around with it for a few days now, having a really good time. Um, so it's this. Huge fan of Fallout 4, and I do think it's very similar to Warhammer. And I wanted to make a video about this because of all the negative reviews. I want to be that one guy who left a positive review. I wanted to talk about this. Also, I'm going to give the Creation Bundle, which is also the Anniversary Edition. It's the same thing. I really do want to talk about this and give it a fair shake after playing it for about 5 days, give or take. So for my birthday, I got about $40 in Steam credit, and I turned that $40 into getting this and also buying more creations. I bought more creations besides these ones, and after messing around with them for 5 days, give or take, I really want to give you guys my take on this. So yeah, that's basically what the video is going to be about. I just want to be the one positive guy. Now there are a couple things out there that I do actually agree on, but most of them, I'll be honest with you, I've been reading these reviews, and a lot of it just feels like whining. There's a lot of whining going on. That's how I sum up a lot of them. So I want to give you guys a brief intro, and then I'm going to talk about the reviews, and then I'll be talking about the actual bundle, what you actually get. So this is, I would say this is like 5% of what you actually get from the bundle. You do get all of this, but I think this is like 5% of the actual content. So I did find this backpack. You just start the game out with it, and you do find this weapon, and I just bought it from a shop. There was no like requirement. And then you got these skins here. This is the stealth suit. This is, I would say, one of the best armors in the game, and you just find it. There's no like requirement. You just find it, and that's it. Then you have these colors here. I do think these colors add a lot to the game because you can really personalize your character, and I do think it adds a lot of roleplay. So I actually really do like these colors. And then you have the dogs. The dogs are interesting because there's a lot of horses in the game, but you don't see any horses. You see a cowboy on a horse. You see all these animals, but you don't really. So you see a drawing of a horse, but you never actually see a horse in the game. So it's interesting to see so many dogs. This game really likes dogs, and there's a lot of cats in the game too. So I think it's really interesting that there's drawings of horses, but you don't actually see any. It's interesting. And then you have this Enclave armor. I think that's free. If you update if you update Fallout all the way, you do get the Enclave armor. This one's built for. This Enclave armor is built for speed. That's what it says in the tip screen. Sometimes you can read tips, and it says this Enclave armor is for speed. So it's not really built for fighting. It's more built for just running around. So yeah, I really want to give this a fair shake and just be that guy who gives this a positive review. Also, I really want to show you guys my character, because I just been really grinding this game. I want to see if I can... Okay, it did save. So yeah, I have 356 hours as of recording. And I actually have the game turned on right now, so I can show you the other things I bought. This is the in-store. So I have a couple things pulled up. So this is the in-game store. You turn on Fallout. You enter inside the store. Now some of these things have a price. So you can see here, this has a price. But some things in this store just don't have a price. So you can see right here that this does not have a price. And I also have the official store pulled up too. So this is like the in-game store. Now this, from what I understand, the official store is what gets all the news. It gets the first like update, and then the in-game store gets an update later. So if you want the actual news, you should go to the official store, which is this. If you want to get the newest and all the creations, this is where you go to. So I have a couple ways of talking about this subject. Whatever is easiest. I haven't decided what's the easiest so far. But yeah. Now as of 356 hours, I actually have not found all the things that came with the anniversary edition. It turns out to be a lot. So I have been playing this game for like 5 days straight, and I have not found all the creations that come with this bundle. It's a lot. And I will give you guys my feelings on it. So people have been asking me about Warhammer a lot. Dawn of War 4, Definitive Edition, stuff like that. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really interested in that anymore. I still like Warhammer and Dawn of War, but the new games just do not look interesting to me. They just really don't. They don't... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but they just really do not look interesting to me. That's just my take on it. So there was a day, so right now it's $20, but there was a day where it was on sale for $10. And I do think you actually get a lot for your money. I do think the prices are weird. That's something I'm not going to defend. The prices are very janky. So for example, oh, it doesn't show you the list of what you get. They used to show you the big list. There was a whole list here showing you what you get. But for example, this right here was like $6. And I think this right here is like $8. So just those two things are $15 if you put them together. So if you put these two together, that's $15. Oh wait. Nope. Okay, they did have a huge list of what you actually get, but I'm not seeing it. So the price is weird, I will say that. So these are the dogs. It's like $8 for this. And then these colors here, that's like $8. So these two right here are $16. And you'll get this at like as soon as the game starts. You don't have to like unlock this. You just get this as soon as the game starts. And then, like I said, I only found about half the stuff in the bundle. So I have a lot of exploring to do. So I do think it's weird. If you buy this one by one, I would say if you buy everything one by one, is probably close to like $200. So you're saving like $180 through this bundle, which is weird. But yeah, another thing I learned recently, I did not know this, but pretty much all of this is like 10 years old. This came out 10 years ago and I had no idea. I'm catching up. So none of this is new, right? This is all old stuff. This is all like 10 years or more. Now I do want to read the reviews and explain that part where I do think they're whining. I know it's a role-play game and people are very specific. Some people make a sniper character. Some people make like a knife character. A lot of people make very specific characters and they make very specific choices. So I can kind of get behind why they're being so whiny. Okay, so I do want to read a couple reviews and then I will talk about the actual anniversary edition. So you can see here, mostly negative. Fallout 4 has been getting a lot of review bombs, and I don't really get it. So I will say this: Fallout 4 is not a perfect game, and some of the updates were bad. I do agree on that. But every time a bad update came out, they would usually fix it. Their support team is actually really good, from what I understand. When something bad does show up, they fix it. So I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple reviews. I think I read these before, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it again. So this first one, got it with a pack on sale. Couldn't start it because it froze on installation. Based on all the negative reviews, I'm not going to even bother trying to fix it. I'm going to uninstall. So it froze during installation. I don't know. That could be like a server issue, to be honest. That sounds more like a server thing. So this one, I can't really explain. I never had that issue before. Creations are half-baked and poorly implemented. That one I actually agree with. So these creations that you're looking at, this was not made by the actual company who made Fallout 4. None of these were made by the actual people behind the game. None of these were made by the employees. These were just made by regular modders and computer whizzes. So a lot of these are half-baked. Pretty much all of this was made by fans. So I do actually agree with that. They are half-baked. Pretty much none of the creations are high quality, but I still enjoy them anyways. I'm not like picky. So creations are half-baked and poorly implemented. I'm actually agreeing with that one. One of the creations, Bunker Home Pack, does not install properly. That is true. Bunker Home does not work. And at least a handful of these editions are half decent. Okay, so this is basically how I feel, but I still gave it a thumbs up. Because I did have fun. This should be free for anyone that had the Game of the Year edition. I think the Game of the Year edition is all the DLCs, like Nuka World. If you have Nuka World and Far Harbor, I think that's what they're talking about. So Fallout 4, I think, is $20. Game of the Year edition is like $30. And then you have Anniversary edition, which I think is about $50. And I do think you're getting... So you saw right there, I had a 350-hour playtime. And I did not 100% the game. I think I'm not even close to 100%ing the game. So I think for $50, you're actually getting a lot. And if you buy everything at once, you do get a discount. So it's not even full price. Most of it is paint jobs. That I agree. Half the anniversary edition is mostly paint jobs. Some of it is buggy. I actually didn't experience that many bugs. I think I saw a bug or two, but not really. Pretty much all of this I agree with, but not enough to give it a negative review. But I actually do agree with all of this. Again, I'm not picky, so my review is basically this, but I gave it a thumbs up because they tried, you know? They tried. If someone tries, I usually give them like an A, you know? Like I'm not like hard on these people, you know? Do not buy. It does 150 skins for weapons and reskins for dog meat. You will not get any new missions or stories. So this is just not right. This is just not correct. You basically have to unlock new missions and stories. They do not hand it to you like little children. You have to actually unlock missions and stories. So this is just incorrect. Still can't find the bunkers creation months after release. This is also true. I did report the bunkers. So the bunker creation is the only one I'm having issues with. And I did report it. Didn't even bleep and work. None of the quests would load. I had a quest in Nuka World that didn't work, so I had to skip it. But all the Anniversary Edition quests did work. And worst of all, I spent $20. Yeah, this guy is just... This is whining. Like, half the reviews are this. I would say most of the reviews are this. This is what whining looks like. Didn't even bleep and work. None of the quests would load, even through console commands. And worst of all, I spent $20 bleeping dollars on this piece of bleep. Most of the reviews are this. And I'll read a couple more, but I think you'll get the point. The single reason I picked this up was because it's on sale. You fell for a sale. All right. You're still spending $10. So I'm not even sure why you'd write that, but whatever. This is the reason why Bethesda should be punished and face consequences. Because you bought something? You fell for a sale. Like, you didn't... I don't understand this bit. Instead of making DLC, they sell you a pack where you don't even list the content you get. There is a list out there. And the content you do get is mostly skins. So Bethesda, from what I understand, actually had a hand in this. I don't think they made all the creations, but I think they did help out. They had like an employee or two help them out. So I would say they did not make the creations, but they did have a hand in it. Paid mods are a slippery... You don't have to buy it, man. It's 100% optional. And here's the thing about the Creation Store. There is a install and uninstall button, which is right here. I can just... Oh, I actually didn't download this. Interesting. I thought I downloaded this. Whatever. I don't want to download this right now because it will reset my game. But yeah, okay, so that's interesting. I never installed this. But yeah, so you can install something and then uninstall it if you don't like it. So I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't. I'll read like 2 more and then I think you'll get it. And then I'll move on to the actual review. Don't buy this, y'all. The content doesn't even show up in the game. That's true. It's on it's a different button. It's not like in the game. It's like a different button. And note, Bethesda, I am not making a new character after sweating blood on survival for 5 days straight. This is another example of whining. I mean, I kind of get it. Fallout expects you to put a lot of time and effort into the game. I will say one thing. I did a lot of the brand new quests, and it did not require me to start over. So him saying I have to start over is just wrong. And also he says, nope, Bethesda. A lot of this was just not made by them. So he's addressing... See, this might be one of the problems. This might be a problem here. So I click on this. It says buy, and then there's the name of the guy. I don't know if you can see it. BP42S. Now this is not actually Bethesda. I don't think this is actually a Bethesda employee. But to get this check mark, he did have to go through some kind of test. Bethesda was sent him some kind of test, and he passed it. So Bethesda knows this guy exists, and Bethesda knows this creation exists. They absolutely know that this creation exists. So people yelling at Bethesda, I think it's just not... I would say it's kind of... It's like 50-50. Bethesda had a hand in this. Bethesda did have a hand in this, but not really. Like, kinda. They kinda had a hand on this. So everyone yelling at Bethesda for... Like, this is BP's work. BP did most of this. You should be yelling at BP, not Bethesda. So I don't know what's going on there. I'll read like 2 more reviews and then I'll stop. I just bought the creation bundle as I own all DLC and base game. When I installed the creations, none of it appeared in game. I even tried reinstalling the game and it's still not appearing. I suggest you give me a fix or refund it now. This might just be a skill issue. Because it is in the game, you just can't find it. Now, I do have the same issue. So if we go here, we'll do this one again. Let's see if it actually tells you where it's at. It might not tell you where to start at. So far, it's not telling you where the... Okay. Yeah, it's still not telling you where the starting area is. Okay, here we go. This is actually the starting location to the quest. So it does tell you at the bottom. You have to go all the way down here to tell... So this is where you would read this, and then you would switch to the actual game, and then you would do this. So you do have to scroll all the way down to figure out where the starting point is. So I can see people not seeing that, and I can understand people missing this. Like, hey, you have to scroll all the way down to figure out where the quest is to get this new item. And this new item is locked behind a quest, so you have to do it. So I would say it's another example of whining or a skill issue. I had to download this crap just to be able to start a new game. There's a stupid creation that breaks the Game of the Year version, so you cannot start a new character. I haven't started a new character in a long time, so I don't know if this is true or not. They broke it, so you had to purchase this terrible setup. You had to purchase. Wait a minute. You had to buy this. I guess someone forced them to buy it. I don't really understand that bit. Itself was awesome until they made this. Again, they said Bethesda made this. This is mostly made by fans. I think people are misunderstanding that this was mostly made by fans, not them. Now, I will say a lot of these creations are 10 years old. Some of them are really janky, but some of them work fine. So a lot of these are like 10 years old, but I think a lot of them work fine. So I did find a lot of this on my character. My character does have these. But yeah. I think that's it for the reviews. So I do agree with a lot of them, but I would say if like 10 of them worked, I'd be fine. If you give me like 10 hours of gameplay, I'd be fine. I'm that guy who's like $20 for you know how expensive a movie is? A movie is like $8, right? And it's like 2 hours. This is $20 for like 10 hours. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of a word salad, but yeah. Alright, now to talk about the actual Anniversary Edition. I'm not gonna show you my character because I got copyrighted striked. Or I didn't get copyright striked. I got copyrighted. My last video got copyrighted. So I'm not going to show you my character. It is in first person mode, so you wouldn't even be able to see my character, if that makes sense. But yeah, I am not. I think it might actually be easier to do it this way. Okay. So it turns out I have not installed the paints. I thought I did. I just learned that right now. So here's the arcade bundle. I think you just get this right away. You don't have to unlock it. I think this is pretty cool, but it is very specific. And I would even go as far as saying this is too specific. Like, this is cool, right? But I think this is too specific, and this should be free. So, I think this one's a bit overpriced. So that one, I don't really have any feelings on. I don't have any real feelings on this one. Horsepower armor. I feel like horsepower armor is kind of an insult to players. The numbers on it are not very good. Really, all you can do is paint it. That's it. It's just something you can paint. It's not good armor. So you're paying money for kind of a downgrade. But yeah, you can see you can paint the armor, but the armor is not good, like at all. So this one, I do feel like it's kind of an insult. The handmade shotgun. The handmade shotgun is really fun. It's not. I would say it's not a good weapon, but it is pretty fun. And one thing I'll say about the handmade shotgun is that it's everywhere, and I think the shops are messed up. One shop will sell like. So the problem is with this handmade shotgun is every shop sells like 10 of these things. They are just absolutely everywhere. And I don't know why. I have no idea why. Like, yeah, every shop is selling 10 of these things. So, handmade shotgun, it's not bad, I guess. The Doom gun. This is actually, I would say this is actually a really strong gun. But shooting this once costs like 100 money. So every time you shoot it, that's 100 money down the drain. And I don't know if that's worth it. But the Doom gun does hit really hard. I'm not going to review each and every one. I just want to get my point across that I did have fun. I think stuff like this should be free. I don't see why this is behind a paywall. I think this being behind a paywall makes no sense. This should just be free. So yeah, they should really add that for free. That being behind a paywall makes absolutely no sense. This thing is like a cheat code. Oh my god. You buy this and you basically just beat the game. This backpack adds like 60 pounds to your guy and like +5 armor. And it is stupidly strong. And I think you get this as soon as the game starts, because I didn't see any like requirements. But yeah, if you buy this, you basically just beat the game. That thing is absolutely busted. What else? This is definitely overpriced. This is 100% overpriced. It's a hand-cranked laser gun. Now this gun does like 200 damage, which is the same as a missile launcher, and it's very long range and accurate. But I do think it's extremely overpriced. It's like $4 for this one gun, and there's no quest. There's no nothing. You just find it. So that one there, I do think is overpriced. Let's see. This is amazing. This is the first like positive. I have a really positive feeling on this one. So this one here, you do like a 5-minute quest, and you unlock a player home. And this player home is gorgeous, and it's pretty much at the start of the game. I would say like it's before the main quest, so you can find this pretty early in the game, and you get your own player home. And I think this player home is a massive improvement over the old player home. So I think that's definitely worth it. So it's going for $3. I think that's absolutely worth it. Player homes are great. This is pretty sweet. This adds a brand new dog to the game. It's a robot dog. And it doesn't count as a companion. So you can have like 5 companions basically. You can have the human companion. You can have the robot dog. You can have the normal dog. You can have like 5 companions at a time. And this also has a quest. And the quest is pretty interesting. And you can customize the dog too. So I think for $2, they actually did a lot. I think this is absolutely worth it. It is extremely well hidden though. That's one issue. This should probably be free. I think this stuff here should be free. I don't see why it's behind a paywall. Yeah, so that should be free there. These shirts. This was pretty good. It says adds like plasma Gatling guns to the game, and there's a quest. I think they actually did a really solid job on this. This was really, really well done. So I think this was actually really, I think this was actually excellent. And again, a lot of this is fan made. The 50 cal rifle. The 50 cal rifle was actually pretty disappointing. I would say this one's overpriced. It's $4, and yeah, I would say this one here is overpriced. So that one, I don't know. It's not even the best sniper rifle in the game. You would think the 50 cal would be the best sniper rifle, but it's not. The ion gun. The ion gun is definitely overpriced. I think this thing is extremely overpriced. It's just not very good. So the ion gun is kind of ass. Bunker home. This is like $8, and this is the one that doesn't work. So yeah, this one doesn't work. So I'm hoping they fix that. This also feels like an insult. Brahmin armor. There's only one of these. There's only one of these in the game, and it looks like it's made for combat, but it's not. You can't actually combat this. So this does nothing. So yeah, I think this is kind of a scam. I would say this is kind of a scam. This here does absolutely nothing. This is alright, I guess. It lets you wear armor just normally without the suit. So now you can have a mix. You can have normal shirts and then the armor. It's kind of cool, I guess. It's alright. Now, if you have the full suit, you can customize and upgrade the helmet. But I think when it's like this, you can't actually upgrade the helmet. So, yeah. The normal helmet is better. It's a cool idea, I guess. This is pretty disappointing. This one's not very good. This adds spy outfits to the game, and these spy outfits are just not very good at all. So, and these don't even show up in stores. I don't know how to get these. So yeah, the spy outfits are kind of garbage. This one here was actually pretty sweet. This one here is pretty good. So this adds a new diner to the game, and you can customize it. What's weird is you can't put people in here, but you can customize it. I think it's very, very weird. You can't put people inside it. It's a diner. But yeah, so all this is actually in the game if you buy this. It is pretty well hidden, but I think this is actually extremely well done. So I actually enjoyed the diner a lot. This I think I did. So this is $6 as a house. I think this is overpriced. The quest is very short. So I would say this is a very overpriced item. I don't agree with any of the prices, basically. But I do think this is actually extremely well done. If you look at these images here, this is actually extremely well made creation. And I'm a huge fan of it. And you can customize it too. This is another player home, and this one's really good. It is right next to the main quest though, so you can either have the player home or the main quest. It's kind of a tough choice. This one here is, I would say, is overpriced for sure. This just adds another companion to the game. All this really does is adds another companion. So I would say that's very overpriced. That's extremely overpriced. Just adds another companion to the game. That's it. This was pretty disappointing, I admit. This adds a new gun to the game. I have this gun, and this gun is not that good. It looks cool. So that one there, Very disappointing gun. Not a huge fan of it. What else? I think I'll do like 2 more, then I'll stop. This was actually pretty good. This adds a new shirt to the game. And the shirt's actually really good. So it adds this new shirt to the game, and it's actually really, really strong. So I think this is actually worth it. It increases your stealth and also your speed. So if you want to be a speedy stealth guy. So I think this is actually a really, really nice outfit. That's actually a pretty solid item. What else? More paint. Half the anniversary edition is paint. They were right about that. So this one here is extremely overpriced. All this really does... This does add a new game mode. But I think $9 for a new game mode. And this one here is also really buggy. So this one is extremely overpriced. This is going for $9 and it doesn't really work. So yeah, that one's extremely overpriced, I would say. And this one here is also extremely overpriced. This is a very short, like 5-minute quest. And it doesn't really add anything. This one here was really bad. I don't know. It's kind of garbage. This one here was pretty cool. So this one here is going for $7. I did actually do this one. This was really, really cool. You go back to Fallout 3, but in the Fallout 4 engine, and you fight some mercenaries. I think this was actually really well done. They did a really good job on this. So that one actually, big thumbs up. Neon Flats. Neon Flats is excellent. This is probably my favorite. This might actually be my favorite thing in the Anniversary Edition. This is absolutely excellent. Fantastic job on this. So I would give this like a 10 out of 10. This is absolutely... Like, Neon Flats was absolutely amazing. That was big thumbs up. The combat rifle. The combat rifle is amazing. So the combat rifle, this is another 10 out of 10. Fantastic creation. Huge thumbs up. Zeton Arsenal. This one's okay, I guess. I do think it's overpriced. It's very overpriced, but it's not bad. Like, this gun here looks great. Fantastic gun. It looks fantastic. You see that? But it is extremely overpriced. So yeah, I don't agree with any of these prices, like, at all. But I do think it's fun. And that's all I was looking for. All I was looking for was a good time. So I've been playing Fallout 4 since my birthday, which was 5 days ago. I've been playing this game for 5 days straight. And I have still not found everything. I just have so much stuff installed that I just have not found all of it. So I have not found like half the stuff you're looking at. And that's basically my review. So yeah, some of it is crap, yeah, but it's fun. I would say this easily adds another like 30 hours to the game, easily. This is easily another 30 hours. So I highly recommend the Anniversary Edition. And I really just wanted to make this video. I wanted to be that one guy who gives it a good review. I really just want to be the one guy who's like, yeah, it's actually pretty good. Now maybe it was bad before, but I think today it's actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna be the one guy who gives it a thumbs up. And yeah, that's basically... If I had time, I would review everything. But... yeah. I think I'm just gonna end it there. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe this video was good. Maybe it didn't matter. You guys have already decided. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Now, because a lot of them just don't work, I would recommend getting it on sale. I think the $10, if you get it for $10, I think that's a lot more reasonable. And you do get everything I just showed you. All the guns, all the paints, even the houses. The houses are included. The robot dog's included. All the guns I showed you was included. So you get a lot. The new outfits are included. The Fallout 3 thing is included. So I think for $10 you actually get a lot. And yeah, that's basically my thoughts. I could keep going, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.